Testing microphone 1 2. Testing microphone 1 2. Okay, that's loud enough. Loud and clear. Oh boy. Oh, I need to set up my links. Oops. As I use my sticky keys.
VODs.
I wonder if this is going to be any popular. I mean, I'm not even doing any kind of coding today.
Faster chat on.
Hello folks, it's me, I'm Biggie and I'm back and we are live. And we've got final confirmation that my Lappy is dead. So rip Lappy. I also need to actually figure out what I'm gonna do in this case. Do I wait for my friends to donor Lappy, or do I just bite the bullet and buy something new? But yeah, that's going to be kind of on the cards today. That's pretty nice. But hello, if you're watching this from the VOD, welcome. And if you decided to jump in and have a look here on what this is all about, thanks for your interest. What we're doing right now is completely different to what I'm actually doing usually, which is I'm actually trying to get some game dev done. And if you look at the title card on YouTube, today's mostly just going to be design documents.
_Biggie is now live. Streaming software and game development, almost affiliate. First ever dev stream, wheelchair symbol disabled gamer wheelchair symbol.
Yep, so this is just going to be a bit of a gamba on my end, because I don't know how popular game dev is going to be as a topic of streaming, especially on
Howdy.
YouTube. Hi Mana, thanks for being here like nice and early. This is earlier than your usual turn up. I mean, today's Black Friday, isn't it? For you? It's already Saturday for me though. But yeah, we're doing game dev today, and we'll see how things go. Regarding this, I mean, I've got some plans set up on what I actually want to do today, and if you look at the title card on YouTube, I'm planning to just go through the main design document for a little bit. I'm not going to complete it. I'm just going to get as much done as possible in terms of what I want to do before I start the writing process. But I mean, I hope it's going to be useful for anybody who's trying to get into game dev and game design and stuff. But yeah, we're going to design first. Since I'm going to mostly be doing this project solo, we're just going to do the design stuff first, more than anything, and then we'll jump into dev stuff later. I'm just going to go over and make sure that all the stuff is running properly. It's running properly on YouTube, running okay on Twitch too. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch to my other screen here before we get things started. But yeah, this is going to be super experimental. I have no idea if people are going to tune in to this kind of stuff or not. But before we get started, I'm going to switch to this screen. Yep, and now that the music's off, I think now we'll go ahead and turn on some music for the background. I'm just thinking what music I should turn on. I know. Let's just go ahead and pick the obvious one. Wait a moment while I actually do this. Oh, hello for those of you who are joining in on the stream. The text to speech is on. I'm gonna load some Unsaga stuff. Just to turn on the music on loop here. Oh wait. That's the wrong save file. Wonderful. Off to a great start. I'll need to turn sticky keys on.
Using the actual game to have background music, now that is fancy.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, the question now is, do I want to have it with the background noises or move out? Yeah, let's just go ahead and leave town. So it's just background music. Anyways, pretty fancy, right? Germany. There's a couple of you guys tuning in on Twitch, so thanks for being here. This is my first ever game dev stream. And if you don't know what we're doing, I'm trying to develop kind of an app/game of a Romance of the Three Kingdoms tarot. So if you're a fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms stuff, then yeah, make sure you go ahead and follow back to my YouTube channel to watch and stuff. But just looking through now, oh, it's just false flagging the amount of people watching on Twitch, but it's all fine and dandy. Let's go ahead and get things started. Thank you all my members first though. Thank you Mana first for being here. And thank you Apilux and Sephiroth Veldavold, Rafael Vega Chapa, and Techno for being members as well. Thanks for supporting me monetarily. And yeah, if you want to, if you like the video, you enjoy, like the video if you like this kind of stuff. Sub if you want to see more stuff like this. Click on the bell to get notified for whenever I go live, etc. Yeah, let's continue. So, as part of this, I'm just going to explain briefly about design documents, right? Because the first step towards starting off any game is writing a design document. And usually why this is important is because people, like, you want everybody to have a reference point, especially if you are joining in on the game or developing this as part of a team. It's important to actually have a reference point where everybody can come back to and just say, oh yeah, this is what the game's about. And this is more an idea of, well, why the design doc is important for me is that since I'm a newbie at this, it's going to help me come up with a proper timeline of things to do, right? So basically, I went to ChatGPT and basically asked, okay, what do I need to do to get a design what are the comprehensive design document stuff for app development. And they just went, okay, here's the main stuff. And I just spent some time off camera already copying and pasting most of the things. But there's a couple of things that I still need to write out, right? To make sure that the game's, mine. And I could link this as well for people to go see, but at this point I probably want to just keep it to myself first. But yeah, first step for any game dev start off with is a design doc. But yeah, let's go ahead and have a see at what our design doc is going to have. As you can see, the contents here, I have kind of like an overview stuff for concept of the game, target audiences. It also talks about marketing strategy and fundraising and risk analysis and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Then I wrote down I want to set up a timeline. So like I said, I have no experience in this. So timelines will go by, I can't go by experience. I have to go by feel or what I think, which is going to change throughout the entire process of the development of this. But it is also just going to give me somewhat of a more realistic view of how long this whole process of game dev is going to take, and what's going to be a realistic thing or not. And I was taught this by I did a course, I think, called Mission Control, where they basically, this was way back, right? And it just said that whenever you have an idea and you want to make two separate things, you need to whenever you have an idea or whenever you are on the process of generating ideas, make sure to separate it into two phases. One is to add the adding part, which is you just add stuff. It's funny because as soon as I say that, the link of the course came up, because I used to be part of their translation team. But anyways, I did that course, and basically whenever you want to brainstorm stuff or come up with something creative, make sure you separate it into between the process of adding ideas and deleting ideas, because the fun stuff is adding more stuff. Make sure you add as much stuff as you can first, and then you prune. Because if you go okay, add an idea, and then you say, no, that's a bad idea, get rid of it, you disrupt the creative process. It's become kind of what you basically, okay, we're not gonna add that, let's add that, maybe not, or maybe we should add that. No, make sure that you add everything you want to add into the game that's possible, and then you prune out all the excess stuff that you say you're not gonna do. For example, one of the things that was actually given to me as an idea is that maybe if the app is going to have kind of like a data management stuff, it will have a database for its users to store previously used data or previously done card draws, user profiles and stuff, right? And that means I have to invest in a server or create a server, and it's a nice idea, but we're not in the pruning stages yet, so we're not gonna cut that out completely. We've decided to prune that and say, okay, we're not doing that for this first iteration of the game. Then that's fine. How are we gonna test it? I have no idea how we could test the game, or what it's gonna take to test the game, or doing feedback and stuff. No idea. But we'll actually have a look at monetization, localization, and fundraising ideas. But yeah, we'll go ahead and slowly go over these core things one by one. So the overview stuff is pretty much done. The only thing that I'm missing that I haven't added yet is the game concept. So basically what's going to be the main draw of the game. Get it? Main draw of the game, and it's a card game, tarot cards. But the draw of the game was just going to be fusion, like it's like a tarot card reader with fusion between East and Western elements, incorporating elements of Taoism and traditional tarot readings. It sounds like that's the overview, right? But how do I incorporate those things? And so I just basically went ahead and did some research on tarot card stuff, right? You know what? I should have loaded up Judy's adventure. Not Judy. Sapphire's adventure. Because she's all about fortune telling, isn't it? But yeah. Anyways. Ventus is more chill at this moment. Okay, let's see. Overarching concept of the theme of the game. And anything I still need to add will be in italics here. And if you're watching, feel free to just add whatever you want to talk about or add at any moment. Don't worry about interrupting me and stuff. Anyways, so here's and if you have any kind of question or suggestions, feel free to add those too. But okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the concept on the concept menu here. And this is going to be my super fancy way of typing, which is going to be text-to-speech.
I like that philosophy about adding as much as you can before pruning.
Oh, thank you. Yep, that's important in a creative process, because you don't want to. That's also very, very true in group projects, especially because if somebody says, "Nah, that's a bad idea," you know, and that interrupts the flow of creative, like the additive process, right? Of adding
Is this
new things.
about your dream video game?
This is not about my dream video game yet. The thing about the dream game that I wanted to create is going to, if I jump into that.
Congrats on your first dev stream. What you working on?
Hi Slavical, thanks for being here. To answer Myth and your question at the same time, this is not. I'm working on a tarot card reader. Yeah, I'm working on a tarot card reader as the first project ever, and I'm gonna incorporate elements of things that I'm familiar about, which is going to be Romance of the Three Kingdoms. The thing is, I'm well versed in both Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and I know a lot about tarot cards as well, right? But I was in an accident that left me paralyzed from the chest down, and why this got started as an idea in the first place is because my friend suggested that, hey, if you wanted some help on like medical bills and stuff, right? I said, why not do some tarot readings? But I said, you know, I can't. I'm paralyzed from the chest down and I have motor hand function loss, so I can't do that much anymore. And I thought that, hey, wouldn't it be cool for me if I created my own app that reads tarot card stuff? Yeah. Hello, Techno. Hey, full house today. Happy Black Friday. Hope you don't spend too much money on shopping and stuff. But yeah, that's the idea.
Hello, Techno.
And my initial thought was that it's going to be real. But the whole game dev thing that I
I'm
wanted.
spending zero money. Oh boy, I had fun with online Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday is always fun. But yeah, anyways, I thought that the first time that for my first app, I should start with something small. The first wave of creating my own game was, hey, what if I created my own RPG, like full blown RPG? And it's like, no, that's gonna be a bit too much of an ask for me, considering my well, I said, oh, I just wanted to, design basic concepts and ideas and just throw it onto a team that's willing. I mean, that's not gonna happen if I did that as my first project. But yeah, I thought that I wanted to do something that is on a smaller scale, so to familiarize me with all the basics of game dev. And I thought a tarot card reader seems like something that is simple enough that I could actually try in doing. And I wanted to do something like get some assistance from ChatGPT, see if I could use Pygame, and see all that different stuff, learning coding through AI and stuff. But yeah, that's basically the gist of things. And as you can hear the audio, I'm actually playing Unlimited Saga music in the background as well. But anyways, we're getting a nice turnout today. Thanks for showing up, everybody. But anyways, yeah, I really need, that's the gist of what I wanted to do. And I wanted to make it a traditional tarot card reader, and I wanted to fuse Eastern and Western elements together. That makes it kind of unique, right? So if you want to go over the basics of tarot cards, right, it has a total of 78 cards. And what I want to actually do is first the core bit of work that we're going to do is going to have to be mapping out cards to events within Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And if you don't know what Romance of the Three Kingdoms is, it's a really famous Chinese novel. If you heard of Dynasty Warriors, is that what it's based on? Dynasty Warriors is based on Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So characters from Dynasty Warriors are going to be like you could say Dynasty Warriors tarot cards and stuff. But yeah, I'll actually try to expand that. And I'm going to do a relatively fancy bit of maneuvering here, which is I'm going to try using my phone, and just capturing some speech to text, and then I'm going to copy it from my phone and then paste it over onto the game concept. Yep. Oh, I probably need some water as well. Yeah, that's the overall gist. Good that you're spending zero money. Heck no, I'll need to spend some money already, because if you didn't know, as a RIP moment, my Lappy is done for good. They went in and they confirmed the GPU is fried. They couldn't do anything about it. So time to look for something new. And let's see if I could budget that for the future. Okay, but okay, let's see what I think I'll try to explain mostly about tarot cards if you don't know anything about it. But basically, if you're familiar with playing cards, tarot cards is basically playing cards plus they have something called the major arcana and the minor arcana. And the major arcana Okay, actually I should capture this. Oh, yeah. If you're familiar with tarot cards, comma, they have cards that are major arcana, denoting from numbers 0 to 21, comma, and minor arcana cards, which are similar to playing cards in that it has 4 suits, comma, wands, comma, cups, comma, swords, and pentacles, or coins. Full stop. Yep. So if I then after this, I'm going, because my phone is linked to my PC, I'm going to copy, and hopefully if I do this, I'll Control V. There we go. But let's remove the italics here. Not cars, not Shuriman cars. Major Arcana, denoting numbers 0 and 21. Minor Arcana cards, which are similar to playing cards. It has 4 suits of wands, cups, swords, and pentacles or coins. Yep. And with those types of cards, what happens is and then let me just continue my text to speech here. Cards are laid out in a reading. Cards are usually laid out in a formation, comma, either in a basic formation like a triangle representing past, present, future, or more complex formations such as the Celtic Cross that uses 10 cards. Full stop. Yeah, so but what else is do I need? Yeah, I can copy that first. Yep. And what else do I need to text to speech for? I think I'll need to talk about, okay. Not only do we incorporate Eastern elements into the cards themselves, such as card art and symbolisms, comma, but we could come up with our own formation based on Taoist principles. Full stop. One prominent aspect one prominent idea within Taoist principles will be the use of the 8 trigrams, which represent the 8 directions comma represented by 8 I Ching symbols, comma, the yin yang sign, comma, and various elements. Full stop. So yeah, I did my research regarding this, and basically a really cool
Oh, I didn't realize that is what the 8 trigrams was for.
Yep. That's the cool thing about the 8 trigrams. The 8 trigrams is a I think if we look over here in, I'm going to go to Wikipedia for a little bit, and I'm going to look for, say, sorry for blindness, not Barack Obama. Thanks for the suggestions here, but it is Bagua. No. There we go. Bagua. Oh, it's gonna crop off on the left, isn't it? Yeah, that's not good. Let me just make some changes to a little bit to the this little dude, so that you can see better. Oh, come on. No, we're not playing Unlimited Saga. Sorry, folks. Much better. But yeah, if I go back to the Bagua over here, and I go left click, transform, edit transform, I'm going to reduce the amount of cropping on the left. Okay. So basically, if you look at the symbols here, or the 8 trigrams, it's everywhere in Taoist principles, right? And in martial arts and stuff. And if you look over here, oh, this is the, yeah, this is, I think what's more relevant is this little image, which is Fu Zi's earlier heaven. There's two iterations, right? Which is the earlier one and later one. I don't like this version, the like later heaven at all, because it doesn't like the one that they're used now is probably to represent the yeah, they basically move everything around into different directions. Which doesn't make as much kind of sense to me. It doesn't look as pretty, so to speak. But the earlier version of the 8 trigrams, right, are these things. As you can see here, this is the sky or heaven, and this is earth. In the south. Wait, why is it doesn't show earth here? Yeah, Kung, which is earth in the south. And basically, these elements are opposite. This is heaven and earth. This is fire. No, this is water and fire. And they have lightning and wind as opposites. And I think they have lake and mountains as opposites as well. So it's a pretty cool use and representation here. And as you can see that the if you are any familiar with I Ching, right? It's just basically binary. This the ones there are a total of 3 bits over here, which is basically broken and unbroken. So these 3 are all like basically this is like in binary this is 1 1 and 1, and in binary this is 0 because it's nothing not 0 and any combinations in between, right? So it has basically a bunch of representations here, and there's like hexagram lookup table of heaven and earth and displacement, and you know there's a whole different sort of stuff that you could talk about. As you can see here, the alternative conversion of trigrams to binary, as you can see here, goes all the way from 0 up to 7. Yep, possible binary value and stuff. Really kind of cool way of looking at it. There's a whole bunch of things that we could actually use it for, but we're not going to go that deep into that. But it's basically we're just going to come up with a formation of that we're going to use over here. So basically we're the current use of the formations is going to be the Celtic cross, right? If you look at
Very neat.
Yeah, that's very neat. But the various use of this is going to be the Celtic cross. The Celtic cross is basically 1 card in the middle and 1 card across it, and then 4 cards surrounding it representing different parts, and then there's 4 cards on the side representing more stuff. So what I'm gonna do is that if you look at the symbol here, if you look at what's actually over here in the in this little trigram here, you see over here is heaven, this is earth. I'm gonna place 2 cards in the middle, right? It's going to be just like a as complex as the Celtic cross, but even more complex in this case, because we're going to place heaven over, like a card up here representing heaven, card down here representing earth, and 2 cards down here. One is going to be representative of man, and let me just have a look at what is over here then. Ji, yeah, is a Chinese term or concept. If you know anything about Confucianism, right? There's something called the 3 powers. As you can see here, there's Chinese term for earth is key concept in Chinese philosophy and religion. One of the 3 key powers, which is heaven, earth, and humanity, right? So like there's this concept of heaven, which is the celestial stuff, earth which is the material stuff, and humanity, which is somewhere in the middle. So it is nice to actually incorporate that, to actually place a card in the middle between heaven and earth, right? In the middle of the circle. But yeah, that's going to be the gist of things, of the formation. And I think what I wrote down so far is that I'm going to have a card represents the self at the center, represents the person, and there's going to be a card that represents self, which is or ego, but that's just as far as I've gotten. Basically, the formation will involve using this term and then just placing all 8 cards in a circle on the various positions within the 8 trigrams. Yeah, that's a little bit of the idea so far. But okay, so we wrote down the target audience, which is going to be like a combination of tarot card enthusiasts and Romance of the Three Kingdoms enthusiast. So that's going to be nice if that's going to be the case. And we have we're probably the biggest thing, or the biggest problem that I have so far about this is definitely going to be funding. If this ever comes to pass. Because I've just thinking my way through the entire thing, right? I'm just going to jump forward in the timeline here. The basic timeline basically is, first I want to develop a working prototype of this app where I could actually give out like very, very rudimentary readings, right? And it's going to take a while to, well, first we need to finish writing all of the main card stuffs, right? Which is writing the card meanings, specify structures of the tarot card system, and including number of card suits, meanings, map events in Romance of the Three Kingdoms with tarot card meanings, and incorporating Taoist principles into the reading. So that's going to be the main bit of writing we're going to do. But before we can even do that, I need to actually figure out what else we're not going to need to do. And in doing a bit of homework in the timeline stuff, I thought that the most important step is developing a working skeleton or a prototype, right? So what is like bare bones needed first is finishing the writing of all that stuff, finishing some core, the most basic version of the game as in the game design, and then I have to start coding the game. So this will actually have to be worked out in order, right? So that's the first bit of the timeline, and I actually have to see what needs to be done here. And the audio visual stuff will basically come later, because then that's the key chunk that I need to actually spend money on as well. I have to budget for creating very, very, very specific art. Like art and aesthetics is going to be super important, because for this to work, I need to have a very specific bit of art that has very specific symbols within the cards, and it's going to need to be it's going to have to be commissioned, and I have to own the copyright. So that's going to be a huge chunk of change if I'm actually going to get this off on some sort of release, right? So before that, I realized that I need to actually have somewhat of a working skeleton, and then we could figure out the art commissions, audio. I could work on the audio stuff because I have a bit of music and sound production background back in uni. But by that time, I'll need to figure out how I could gather enough funding to commission enough bits of art. And I mean, it's going to be huge. It's going to be over, well, at minimum 80 bits of art, 80 different cards, right? Wait, 78 different cards, and then card back, and then various assets. So it's not going to be like a simple job at all. Well, that's going to be a huge chunk of change. But yeah, but before we can even get to that, I want to actually get starting on the writing. Once I'm done with the writing of the card meetings and stuff, then we could place all that kind of stuff into the code. Once we figure out the next bit, which is going to be the mechanics and the gameplay. So I have to think about how the tarot cards reading is going to work. Shuffling stuff, drawing stuff, interpreting cards, and then outline the overall gameplay flow. Basically,
pretty expensive stuff.
Yeah. I've been, it's very disheartening, because I just went to, well, my wife does art, right? And she does commissions, right? But she doesn't do the kind of art that I'm looking for, and she probably won't have time to do the kind of stuff to do like she does very kawaii stuff, you know, very cutesy art style, and Three Kingdom stuff completely out of her element, right? But and the kind of stuff, the detail that I want. And I asked her how much it would cost. And even in Thailand, where the labor cost is low, right? What I'm looking at is something around, at the lowest estimate, if you hire amateurs, if I'm going to get them to commission around 80 different bits of art, it's going to cost me around the ballpark of 1.5k dollars. So that's the low estimate. But most likely, if I'm going to look for something that is pretty much on the scale and the demand and on the skill level that what I'm looking at, it's going to be around 4.5k. That's the budgeting. That's the I mean, I could get 3 different laptops at that price, right?
Oh my.
Yeah, that's the market price for this kind of art. Because not only are we doing that art, like we're doing art, we're buying the copyright of the usage of the art. So it's going to be super expensive. And it's not going to have to be like AI. For me to actually get that far, I'll need to look up things like, think about Kickstarters and GoFundMe's, Kickstarters, some sort of different types of funding. That's why I actually added fundraising as part of the design document, because we need to make some money on dev live streams. We need to actually rack up some traffic with, shorts and TikToks and stuff. I'll need to actually do shorts and TikToks, and I have to branch into Chinese social media or other forms of social media, because that's the only way to kind of gain traction, really. And I might need to actually do some kind of readings, like live stream donated readings and stuff, or sell some merch. The other thing that is actually going to be cool about this is that once I commission art, as soon as it's available, we could look into actually producing the cards themselves, physical copies, to be used as merch, and all the various different bits of art to be used as merch, right? And the thing is, Three Kingdoms is the other good thing is both tarot cards and Romance of the Three Kingdoms are public domain IPs. So it's going to be relatively easy to we don't have to pay for anything else other than commissioning the art. That's the gist of it. But the question is, if we're going to invest that much, how much money are we going to get back? And if it's going to be worth the investment. I could pull out bits of savings, but
the background music makes me want to take a stroll through Vaftum.
Yeah, it is pretty good background music. But yeah, anyways, that's the biggest hurdle right now that I could think of regarding what needs to actually be done to actually get this project online. But at the very least, what I could actually do in the meantime is, like I said, the timeline is developing a working prototype, and there's a bunch of public domain art that I could use for the various different bits of art right now. We can't use AI art for the we could certainly use the AI art for the prototype copy, right? But we can't use the AI art for the ones that we're going to monetize. But the thing is, that's the issue. But I have also another cool bit of resource that I could actually reference. And Mana could probably guess what it is. If we're talking about cards and art, there's one really cool bit of history that has a reference to Three Kingdoms, and that, my friends, is Magic the Gathering, or also known as the Portal Three Kingdoms. We could use a bunch of these for the prototype as card art. Just so that you know. And there's also really cool bits of text that we could also use for now. Things that we could change. And most of some of these texts are also, like, most of these flavor text, for example, in the MTCD rules and stuff, is all public domain as well. Right, you can see the different references, different ideas.
Good times with my brothers trying to get those cards when we were young.
These are like super expensive now, because
my friend and I are also trying to design a game.
Ooh, that's pretty cool of you, Techno. How far have you gotten? Are you actually interested in, if you're like super serious, have you come up with a design document yet? Have you come up this far? And if you actually want to get things off the ground, I recommend you, whenever you
I don't know if it will go anywhere, but at least we're trying to have fun with it.
My recommendation, okay, is to go to fandom.wiki and create a wiki page. I think you already saw this at some point, but create a wiki page and just go to a either chat, like you could use ChatGPT, or you could use my page as a reference as well. I'll just paste it here. You can use my page as a reference as well. And just see and copy the text and stuff. Because what happens is, if you have your friends go in and they all let them all be administrators, right? And basically copy this.
We barely started. We're throwing ideas out.
If you want to throw ideas in, create a wiki page and then just add into the wiki page. Make sure, like I said in the beginning of the stream, make sure you add as much as you can and do not prune or delete anything. It is important to not delete stuff. So add first, prune later. This is like the basic thing about it. And the important thing that you need to actually do is do the proper, if you want the things to actually happen or be put into action, after you design the first page and adding everything, is to go, okay, you guys ready? Let's go create a timeline. As soon as you touch the timeline and then you create something in the timeline page, things will move like into reality. Just add ideas first. And also, it is important to add like the roles, like team roles and what they do. Like this is the first first thing that I did. Basically, who's going to be the project manager, who's going to be the lead developer, who's going to be the game designer or UI designer, who's going to be the artist. Like, as you can see here, who's going to do the maintenance stuff, Like, do we have some external or council advisory roles that we need to talk about? Policy assurance guys, legal counsel guys, you know? And if you click on team roles over here, I set up so, okay, what are the, who's gonna do what? Who's gonna do game design, to conceptualize game mechanics, define rules and gameplay, aligning thematic elements, analyze user feedback for improvements, you know, user who's gonna do the UI UX stuff, like who's gonna do the art, who's gonna compose music, who's gonna do the writing of all the things, right? Who's gonna do maintenance if this is gonna be an app that requires maintenance? Who's gonna do the database stuff, right? But this is like this is how you make projects like into something like real. But yeah, that's the thing. As soon as you add like and the cool thing about wikis is that you could just go in and add stuff, and then you could track changes as well on who added what. And who's going to do what, where. But okay. I'm just going to head back to where we were, right? I think, are we mostly done here for the concept? I think so. You know what? Just give me a second while I, what am I going to do? I think I need to take an early bathroom break. My body's not feeling too good. So just give me a second. Let me switch here. Turn off this. And turn off the mic. Just give me a sec.
This is helpful advice, thanks.
Alrighty, I am almost back. Just give me a sec. Okay, much better. Wait a minute, why is this? Ah,
Hello.
hello, A60 with top hat. Thanks for being here in the stream. I think my webcam is in the wrong position. Yeah. Okay. That's a little bit better. But yeah, hello. Thanks for being here in the stream. Feel free to ask questions and stuff regarding game dev if you're here for that. Otherwise, if you want faster chat, feel free to hop over to Kick. But like I said, this is my first ever game dev stuff.
Is your webcam backwards?
Nope, it's correct. You can see if I move my hand over here. Yep. Well, if it's backwards, you will see the back of my head, right? No, it's on correctly. It's actually it is quote unquote backwards in the sense that it's mirrored, so it's capturing my face like I'm looking at the mirror. No, but my webcam was actually just...
No, I meant is it on the side?
On this side. Oh, I think the thing...
Yeah, mirrored.
Yeah, mirrored, yep. It's mirrored for now. It helps me with recognizing myself on camera a little bit. But anyways, what this stream is about is the game dev stuff, right? So let's actually continue.
I'm dying, I need CPR.
If that's a real thing, then please deal with that. If that's a joke, I don't think we should joke about that kind of stuff. And if you continue on that trend, I might need to actually mute you. Okay? But anyways, if you are able to type, please make sure you go report to the correct authorities.
Okay.
Do that. Yep. Okay.
You meant timeout.
Yep. Yep. I could time you out, but that's please don't joke about that kind of stuff. It's not because yeah, but anyways, we're in the middle of streaming game devs type stuff and just chilling out most of the just at most. But if you need help, please go get the contact the relevant authority stuff for wherever you are. And if you want actually faster chat, feel free to jump onto Kick. Not Kick. Don't jump to Kick. I don't use Kick
You are
anymore.
on Wikipedia?
Yep. This is not Wikipedia, but I was on a Wikipedia earlier to add more stuff. But what this site is Fandom, and what I'm writing right now is a design document. So Fandom lets you create a wiki, any type of wiki, and whenever you want to start creating a game, it is best to start off with a design document. And people usually just use Microsoft
I
Word.
need to go use the bathroom. BRB.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah. Anyways,
I am still here.
Hi, Meta. Thanks for being here, still here. But I'm just standing here. Tom Cruise locked in the closet. Oh wait, this is problematic. This is actually a little bit wonky in terms of where the logos and things are, because it didn't crop out this bit properly. That's fine. I think we'll figure this out later. It's gonna bother me for a little bit, but for the next stream I'll tidy things up. Or I could actually tidy things up now and go hit. There we go. Much better.
Back.
Yep. Thanks for well, now that you're back, I'll just say that if you wanted to create any kind of game and you want to get started designing using a design document, using a wiki is the preferred way to go, because you could just edit it. As a bunch of people could edit it, and you could actually separate it into different categories, and people who are going to be relevant to certain categories are going to use only certain bits, you know. Like, for example, if you are a UI UX designer,
how to script though, frowning face.
You could always learn. I don't know how to script currently. The thing about it is I'm a complete noob in the programming part, and what I'm planning to do is go to ChatGPT, ask it to script, and then let it teach me how to script. That's my extent of scripting knowledge. And then as soon as, because the first program I ever did was I used Microsoft Visual Studio Code to create the bonk meter, which is super simple. ChatGPT relays everything in the code.
I'm just a YouTuber who uploads 10 videos every day.
Yeah, that's not a well, if it's shorts, might be fine, but algorithmically, it's better to just go one video or two videos at a time, because yeah, because it doesn't help your discoverability at all if you upload that much. And also the kind of content that you upload might be, how do I say this? If it's 10 videos a day, it's going to be low effort. I mean, I'm making assumptions, but seriously. Anyways, we'll see. But anyways, as game dev is concerned, coding is one part of the entire process. The design.
I forgot, what are you saying?
Yeah, I was in the middle of saying that the most important part of the design is actually of getting started is this
the word
thing
that
right
you
here.
Can't say.
Game design. Oh. You know what? I'll just start over.
I got an ad for no reason.
Yep. You got an ad because you're on YouTube, I think, and it just adds. The YouTube just does ads and stuff, right? That's the only issue with live streaming on YouTube. It just places ads randomly. But anyways, I was just saying that coding is just the beginning of things. There's so much more to actually do a game design. Basically, I'm putting off coding as far as...
What if they removed ads at?
You can with YouTube Premium, you know, all that. Then also, I wouldn't be able to make any money. So, That's a bit of a problem. But anyways, that's the nature of live streaming on YouTube or any kind of live streaming. I don't need all the ad revenue that I can get if I'm going to actually get this project off the ground. But yeah, like I said, it's just going to be mostly just game dev stuff.
How much money do you have?
Not much. I've spent most of my money on medical bills because I'm paralyzed from the chest down. I don't have motor function in my hands. I'm actually on the bed right now, so most of the money that I make enough money to pay for. Well, currently I'm making minimum wage.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't have. For me, I make enough money to cover for my food for the month because I get paid minimum wage with my main job, which is that I do like my main job for a few hours a day, and then I spend the rest of the time live streaming and that, so I make enough to pay for my own food basically, and the rest of the money is just from like the YouTube money pays for pays a little bit, but not enough to actually supplement what I'm doing. So I'm actually just deciding to go into game dev to see if I could make might as well learn something about game dev while I recover.
My handle is A60.
Okay, nice to meet you, A60. But yeah, I'm just going to continue with most of my with the whole thing that I'm actually going to do now, which is finish writing the main page of the design document. Okay, so I'm just gonna edit the art and aesthetics, right? The thing is, I'm actually going to finish by
So what did eat on Thanksgiving?
I didn't do Thanksgiving pretty much, but planning to have some roast, like a smoked barbecued beef later sometime this week. I'm on a kind of a strict diet to keep my body from ballooning, because since I'm on the bed I don't get much exercise. But anyways, the most important part right now is defining the specific structure of the tarot card system, number of cards, suits, and meanings, and mapping events in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms with the tarot card
My God,
meanings.
your
Yep.
channel was created almost when YouTube was created.
Yep, very, very. I'm a really early YouTuber, and I only came back to YouTubing since I was in an accident that left me paralyzed. Right. Otherwise, yeah, I'm a really early YouTuber, Let's Player, back in the day, and I stopped doing this to pursue other things as I moved on in life. And now that I'm back here, I'm just mostly
I
doing
sub.
this to pass the time. Yep. Thank you. Thanks for the sub, buddy. And for some odd reason, thank you. Thanks for the sub, buddy. And I mostly play. Well, I do the game dev as the first thing, but mostly I just play Gundam or old school video games that I use enough to
over
translate.
314 subs RN.
Good job, buddy. Thank you for I guess you're what I call a YouTuber. So keep up the good work, whatever your content is, however how your content's doing. But yeah, if you're interested in kind of game dev stuff, you could either, well, to be fair, you could either follow me or go to what's his name, Pirate Software. He's also relatively influential in the game design, game dev space. But I'm completely new. This is my first stream trying to tackle this.
One day I will be popular.
Yeah, but make sure have, how do I say this? If you're doing it to be popular, don't expect, well, YouTube has its like YouTube and its algorithm, right? It's a not a very merciful God. I mean, I've been doing this for so many years, right? And I still haven't gotten off. And the kind of content that I'm creating now, that like playing video games and stuff, is not as profitable as it used to be. Yeah.
Make sure you love what you do first. Dedication will get you far.
Yeah, that's true. That's the important thing. Good point, man. I was gonna make that. But yeah, make sure you enjoy doing what you do, even if with like, if you do it with the end goal of being popular, you're gonna be disappointed. If you're just having fun and monetizing it, that's fine. That's fine. For me, it's just me having fun monetizing it. And the main goal that I'm actually doing this is to help with my recovery, with my dexterity and using my hands and stuff, and using my arms, and being able to sit up. Like for me, being able to sit up is already an achievement. And I'm trying to live stream because it's the only venue that I could do this for. Sit up for 4 hours.
And she is having a fever.
Yep. Okay, so I won't ask your age.
I'm sorry for my mom.
Oh, okay. Just be careful about saying how old you are on YouTube, right? Because if I actually if you actually say your age, I have to and if you're underage, I actually have to time you out. Okay. It's a YouTube policy thing. My content's not intended for young audiences. But thanks for being here anyways. Yep. But sorry to hear about your mom. Hope she gets better. If she's coming down with a fever, hopefully it's not something too severe. But anyways, I think I will continue with where we left off. I think the most important thing I want to do now is go to the timelines page. Like I said, why I say timeline or creating a timeline is important is because it's basically makes your ideas like set in reality. You have a deadline on what you actually have to do. And then I'm just going to insert a table here. And I'll see what's going to be the topics here. The first one is going to be the major milestone. Yep. And then I'm going to go task.
Why doesn't it show with channel?
Why doesn't what show with channel? But anyways, and then start date, like start date and completion. Okay, let
I
me
made
just
a video about the King of Blue.
dabba dee dabba die. And
He is the YouTuber.
oh, BFDI. I have no idea what that means. But anyways, the task, the start date and completion, and the I'm looking for a word that means time, like time frame. There we go.
Hello, I'm not Biggie, but I'm also back.
Hello,
D
Techno.
stands for Battle for Dream Island.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what that game is, but okay. Anyways, welcome back, Techno. We're just doing the timeline now, right? So I'm gonna say what task, basically the major milestone, what task I'm gonna do.
Start writing more lore AMD stuff for my game. It's not a game, it's an object show.
Oh, okay. Yep. But it's going, if you're writing lore stuff for the game, my suggestion is also you could always use ChatGPT. That's actually, you know what's funny regarding ChatGPT, right? If you haven't
Kinda
looked
like what
at,
the
yeah.
interwebs did for Tuba Warriors, which is not even a real game.
Yeah. Okay. Is that one of the risks I said that for the company or for the game that I'm creating is like that I'm not unsure about ChatGPT's future. If you know what actually happened, right? And I'm going to be dependent on ChatGPT on a major chunk of this. But ChatGPT, I'm not sure if Novel.ai or any other services could help you with the lore. Or basically,
What happened with chat this time? Like every object. Not like all of the objects. Some of the objects.
Yeah, no, it's just basically the same thing that happened when we last
Even
streamed.
Teapot is there.
Yeah, like what happened with ChatGPT though is I think that's the same thing we discussed, right? How the CEO left and went to Microsoft, and now because of some board executive decisions, the employees are basically planning to they have about 770 employees, and about 700 of them was planning a walkout for some board decisions they made. So we don't know what's going to happen, but or if that's walkout's going to happen, if the if it's going to be transferred to Microsoft or something. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to add.
Play Roblox.
I do not play Roblox, no. But Roblox, I hear, is a great place to for game dev as well. But it's also part of the design document.
What?
If you, yeah, I'm not very capable to. Dude, I usually play RPGs that doesn't require too much dexterity. I can't use my hands. Right? I can't use a mouse. I can't click with a mouse. I don't even use a mouse. I use a trackpad.
Oh.
Yep. So, anyways, I'm going to set today as a start date, for example. and nothing complete yet. But the milestone that I want to get started today is writing.
Imagine I donated $400 to you.
Well, that's going to be helpful. To the medical bills. So if you're planning to do that, thanks. But your mom's sick, right? I think you should use that money to take care of her. But anyways, I'm just gonna add all the tasks in the milestone here. So writing, game design. Yep.
Medical bills?
Yep, medical bills. Yep. I'm at home, but I can't sit up or lie down by myself. I can't even go to the bathroom by myself. I need a caretaker to do that for me. Right? So I need to basically pay her. That's the huge chunk of where my medical bills are gonna go. And I need a bunch of, basically, I think it's not very safe for work stuff, but I basically need a bunch of stuff to for me to do things like go to the bathroom, go to the doctor.
I can say this word,
medicine. Yeah. Okay. Whatever that means. Hopefully it's nothing cancelable here. But anyways, coding. Yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna give myself a time frame of 2 weeks for this, and I'm just going to be say task and insert before. Role. Yep. So writer, which is
also,
me.
when I was in StreamYard with the King of Blue on the 8 live stream, someone let him say the P word.
Yeah. Okay, so role is gonna
Please don't say it here.
Yeah, please don't say it here. Anyways, that's the role, and then who, maybe? Yeah. Person, maybe.
This is family friendly. Or what?
Yeah.
But man, Microsoft really getting everything these days.
Yep, Microsoft really getting everything these days. Yep, the thing about the it's not the fact that it's family friendly. As soon as somebody mentions the those kinds of words.
Restream bot is here?
Yep, Restream bot is here. Yep. Restream bot is just basically trying to monitor everything, doing it the best it can. But anyways, basically I'll be doing the writing. Yep. The game design as well as the coding. Yep.
I don't even use Twitch.
Twitch is the bigger streaming platform anyways. Okay, so if game design, I'm just gonna say I have no idea how long it's gonna take, right? So I'm gonna estimate like 1 month. And then coding 2 months. I don't have a custom, and since I'm doing all these things by myself, this is the most realistic estimate that I'm going to make. So basically, I'll do as much of the game design stuff as much as I can by myself. But we won't be able to, since I'm actually doing this by myself, we won't be able to move on to different steps. Yeah. And you can see in the back here is my caretaker arriving with my lunch. And she's going to be the one handing me my coffee. Yep. Anyways, so the writer, game design, yeah, it's going to be the GD, which is me.
YouTube thinks you're playing Game Dev Tycoon person face palming.
Yeah, but I set the category myself though. So the game dev is going to be me. So develop just okay, prototype.
WDYM.
No, it's whatever you live stream, you pick which category is being set. On YouTube, for gaming, you can set which game. If you live stream for gaming, is that which game are you playing? So, Game Dev Tycoon. I thought it was appropriate. But anyways, that's basically how you set up for milestones, right? But the thing is, for the more complex things, like for example, once we jump into the development or releasing the demo, you can see
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, I'm poor.
Hi, Atticus Plays Games. Thanks for being here, buddy. Yeah. But yeah, as soon as we are done with the milestones, as soon as you're going to different milestones here, for example, we won't be able to start by...
My house was created in 2001. Before UTI was created.
YouTube, I think, yeah. But anyways, the this way, if you have a role, and the person
Before
who is back to
YouTube
that
was
role,
created.
yeah, by that role, you can actually have them the various different time frames on how you're gonna do. So you can see here, if I start date, if I completed, I get the start date started on a different part of the project, and once I go into, for example, the developing or the releasing of the developing and releasing a demo, I could also say, okay, who's
My mom
gonna
is
do?
eating soup.
Yeah, good for her. She could rest a little bit. But you could see the audio. Who's gonna do the audio? That's gonna be me. The fundraising I could probably do as well.
YT buffering.
And we have art commissions and expert consultations and maybe some coding as well. Some more coding. So basically, for example, the commissioning of the art and expert stuff, we could basically, okay, what kind of things are we going to do
Awesome.
specifically as well? So you could actually do things like separate the roles for different people, and they could have different start dates, and you could actually just make sure that the
Also,
start
you
dates don't...
forgot to say don't spam.
Yeah, please don't spam. So, yeah. But anyways, I'll see what else. But yeah, anyways, that's as far as I'm going to go into the timeline, because we want to finish all of this first, because we can't do anything else until we finish the prototype. And the audio stuff, the commissioning of arts and experts and stuff, we'll do later. So this is just as far as I'm going to do for now in terms of the timeline. and just go slowly add more stuff as we go.
Why is I?
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna go have a look at the.
Is this gonna be on Steam or something else?
That's a good question as well. That's fine. The thing is, we'll need to think about
Why is
release
soup
platforms.
good for hot when you're sick?
Soup's good for you because it's well, first you're coughing a lot if you're sick, and it warms up your throat so it doesn't cough, so you don't cough so much. And anything that's kind of oily and horrible for your throat will make you cough a bit more. So you should avoid things like ice cream, for example, or chips, anything oily, crispy, anything that's kind of soft, like white rice and stuff, good for your throat, doesn't agitate it. Yeah. One thing that my favorite thing to drink during it also warms your body up in case you feel like, shivering cold and stuff, especially this time of year. One thing I always my favorite is making a warm drink by microwaving a bit of
Coats
honey.
your throat.
Yep.
Usually has a lot of nutrients. The warmness is soothing.
But my go-to home remedy for like a cough is ginger and lemon honey. Just combine those three and put it in some warm water or put it in the microwave.
Do you know Spain border Morocco?
Does it? Okay, but anyways,
I usually make tea with a lot of honey.
yeah. Tea with honey works as well. Lemon also cuts down on the throat issues.
You can't see it because it have his ends. Trophy, congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Thanks for stream chat.
Islands.
But yeah, the thing is, we'll need to think about the most likely place to release the game is going to. Well, that's back to your question there, Atticus. I think the most likely place to release the game is going to be Steam. We have a couple of options. Either we go for Steam or mobile, because we need to think about whatchamacallit, not feedback, monetization strategy. Yep. So we either go with one-time purchase, in-app purchases, or ads. And if we go for mobile, then most likely we're going to have slightly kind of like non-intrusive ads, right? But
And I can't sleep with my mommy.
I don't think most of us want to sleep with our mommies at our age, though. But anyways, that's an inappropriate joke for you. But
'Cause she's sick.
yeah,
I way prefer one-time purchase to ads.
yeah, that's the thing, though. Mobile stuff, but we'll need to discuss the monetization strategy because it's gonna bake into the coding of the game, right? Either we release this for the mobile market, or release it on Steam.
I need to sleep with my brothers.
Yep. But if you're planning to, if a monetization is going to go as planned, the thing is, without
On mobile
releasing
it's
it,
much more difficult. People don't like to buy stuff for some reason.
but the people don't buy stuff on mobile. That's the thing. And we also need to figure out how much I'm going to charge, what kind of my original thought, but this is just going to be as is, because I'm not planning to do any bit of data management or backend stuff or backend management for the user at all. and make it completely offline, it makes sense to release on Steam first. Because if it's going to be on mobile, it's going to be we need to talk about data management and feedbacks and iterations and ongoing support, right, for the app. We might actually release a version 1 or a demo that is available for purchase first, and then we could use the bit of funding to invest in, because if we want to make it for mobile, then we definitely need a server, right, to host all the data of the user data, which is going to be like I'm looking at best practices for this kind of app on like a tarot card reader on mobile. And the issue with the tarot card reader on mobile is that, oh, thanks for the sub, Atticus Plays Games. Thanks, buddy.
And have to make sure user data is safe.
Yeah, exactly. So for the first iterations, it's most likely going to be kind of hands-free. Hands-free, look at me. But no data management. But I've actually added this just to so to say that we're not going to do that. If we're going to do the data management, it's going to be a more robust bit of code, right? So the first, this is my first game, and monetizing it for release will be a big hurdle, and the biggest hurdle, like I said, right now would be the art, commissioning of the art. And by after I commission the art, I'll need to find a way to monetize it like almost immediately. And the only way that I could think is through merch. And like I said,
the only reason I'm not surprised about the new album is that it was released in a different country in the first place medal, so it was not a surprise to me. I used the tabs.
But anyways, let me just I'm just going to actually let's see. I don't want to put you in timeout, but I don't want to actually disable a speech to text either. So just be a little bit conservative in terms of how much you want to chat, okay? Because I get distracted easily. Otherwise, we won't get any of the timeline stuff done.
I have to leave sadly. I'm glad I randomly found your stream. I hope everything goes well with your timeline. I hope to be able to hop in again.
Thanks, Atticus Plays Games.
Well, bye-bye.
Goodbye. See you soon. And you probably...
Have a good one, Atticus.
Yep. Anyways, I think this is that's as much as I wanted to tackle regarding the timeline and the game design doc for now. So, okay. Am I going to actually add any more bits of text over here? I think the writing is
so.
Yep. I think I will need to use a bit of writing here. I think this belongs in the writing part, actually. Card meanings. No, actually, no, we'll keep it in the concepts for now. We'll relocate things later. So I'm going to save this.
I have 315 subs.
Good job, buddy. Somebody subbed while you were over here. But anyways, I I'm gonna switch over to a different screen. And the screen I'm switching over to is this one. Let's see if it... Okay. Let me just figure this out for a little bit. Okay. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Okay, that's a little bit better. Then I'll also go to properties. No, not properties, just cancel. Oh, that's a completely different screen there. Where was I? Much better. I'll need to click on you and go transform, edit transform, add more cropping to the left here. Okay, close. Okay, that should be good.
Would you recommend Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Biggie?
Would I recommend Romance of the Three Kingdoms? Which medium? There's a bunch of things, right? Romance of the Three Kingdoms, you have one is the novel. I wouldn't recommend the novel. I'll show you why I wouldn't recommend the novel. It is public domain. But the novel looks like this. Emperor, Empress, he, Consort Tang were in the upper story of when the Liru was announced. The Emperor panicked. Liru offered him a cup. Cao Cao rallies with the lords with a forged decree. The three brothers engaged Lu Bu in battle. Yeah. This is not easy reading.
Oh dear.
Yeah, this is not easy reading. Is this feasible? Dong Zhuo asked, turning to Liru. If your ambition, response to Liru, is to protect this section of the empire, don't begrudge a single horse, my lord. You know, it is. What is this? This is This is 14th century writing, translated. So not the best medium to consume this, but like any good medium that is open source, like not open source, not quite open. What's the word I'm looking for? In the public domain, there's a bunch of reinterpretations, right? I don't recommend the movies either. You might be able to. The way I enjoy it. The first method I consumed it in entirety was comics and visual novels. That's one way to actually try to, if you are interested, to enjoy it. I'm not sure if it's available somewhere. There's also a movie series that's free to watch on YouTube. But this, I think it's like 90-ish episodes of nearly full hour stuff. So it's not something you jump into with like enthusiasm. Say, okay, let's try and watch this. No, it's something that you think you're it's like would you recommend reading War and Peace? Okay, it's gonna be a long read, you know. It's gonna be a long read. The other thing that you could try is Romance of the Three Kingdoms in video game form. That's one way to consume it. And out of all the games, I think I have a bunch of games already and some old school Romance of the Three Kingdoms, like I think either 7 or 8 is one way to consume it. Dynasty Warriors is a nice alternative if you want kind of like such like a mindless hack and slash action. That's the way I would consume it. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms strategy series is also an interesting way of going about it. I'm not sure which I can't remember, like they have like 9 or so series of games, right? And they're like huge, like a series of games, and there's fans saying that okay, you should, if you want to role play this version. If you want to like do management, do this version, because I think either 7 or 8 has this really cool bit of role-playing element where you just play as an officer and you add a bunch of, like, create yourself as a custom officer, try to join a certain army, you know, that kind of stuff. But okay, so we're pretty much done with the main design doc page for now, as much as I wanted to actually do it, and we've done with creating the timelines. I'm going to eat for a little bit, so I'm going to talk and eat, and eat and talk as I go into my face cam over here. And yeah, we're going to continue where we left off earlier with the
I think I will look into Dynasty Warriors, LOL.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors is probably the best gateway into this. And it's oh, this character is pretty amazing. This character is pretty cool looking. I would go first into Dynasty Warriors, and then slowly going into Dynasty Warriors Empires, if you want to branch off into strategy. And then you could slowly move towards Romance of the Three Kingdoms stuff. So just give me a second while I ask for a meal. เรียมครับ เอาข้าวอันไหนก็ได้สักอันหนึ่งน่าจะเป็นอันที่เป็นใส่ไข่ Yeah. But yeah, Dynasty Warriors is a good starting point. But anyways, you could actually even go to, say, let me just go ahead and switch over to this screen for a bit. You could even go to Scryfall and look up the Portal 3 Kingdom set. Yep. And read up a little bit of flavor text and stuff. Like there's a, like for each card over here, there's a bunch of really cool bit of story as well. Like for example, over here is the Eightfold Maze. In the story, we had basically there's 3 sides, which is you know, 3 kingdoms, which is Shu, Shu, as you can see here, Shu, Wei, and Wu. And according to the magic color pie here, the Shu is like the white virtuous army. They're the heroes. The Wu is like the blue colored side, and they're allies, but there's a very tenuous alliance, right? I mean, I could just copy this and send it to you. This is already one of the better ways to look into what these cards are. If you're into Magic the Gathering already, right? And there's like stories hidden behind stories. Like over here's the Eightfold Maze. Basically, it's this really cool part where The Shu army broke off their alliance with the Wu army, and they started fighting each other, and the Shu army was losing, and they retreated, suffering heavy losses. And basically, one of the Wu generals, as they retreated, actually, let me just point him out. There's Loksun, this dude. Loksun Scholar General. It was this guy, right? He's basically chasing after the Shu army. And he was scouting ahead as this army was retreating, and the strategist basically said, please retreat through here. And then this guy scouted ahead. He went got lost in what's called the Eightfold Maze, which is like a what looks like just a bunch of rocks. But they went in and they couldn't find their way out. And it's like this, these like rock formations, and they were using Taoist magic with 8 trigrams and stuff that made people confused and got lost.
That actually does sound neat.
Yep. And it's one of the because if you consume Three Kingdoms as a bunch of stories, it's pretty cool. And this is another part. Basically, if you look at some of the characters here, the Shu army, it consists of 3 very important people. Liu Bei is the Lord, right? He's basically the protagonist. And then there's his Swan brothers, which is Guan Yu here, and then Zhang Fei. Zhang Fei is down here, right? So those are his 2 brothers, and they basically swore an oath together. No, we 3 are those of separate ancestry, joined in brotherhood. We do not hope to be together always, but we're here. We vow to die on the same day. Yeah. Basically, a really famous scene in it is that they swore an oath, even though they're not born on the same day. They will unalive them. They're basically unalive on the same day. So the sworn oath of brotherhood, and basically, this guy's the strategist. He's basically the.
That is a pretty neat oath.
Yeah. And then the problem with this guy, though, is that he kept losing. Despite everything he's done and being really like super popular, he kept losing. So he kept asking what was missing. So we went to a really famous kind of like teacher slash strategist, right? And you just ask, okay, why do I keep losing? Said you have a bunch of really strong generals but no strategist. So he said, okay, so he said, who's the best strategist right now? I was like, this dude. And basically, as soon as this guy entered the story, like the story became super cerebral and fun and Game of Thronesy because he just outwits everybody.
Kong Ming told him to hit them with every technique they know.
Yeah. Like for example, over here, out of time and options, Kong Ming was forced to bluff at Xicheng, tricked an army of 150,000 on Wei. Yep. By he has no army, he has nothing. He left his gates open and started playing the zither. Right? No, that's out of desperation. He's like, he's basically double bluffing. He said, look, I'm setting up a trap. Like, it's so basic, right? Look at this. I'm just playing the zither. I've opened the doors. I'm out of options and I'm setting up a trap. And because he's so famous and he's so well known that he's a really good strategist, his opponent went, there's no way he's bluffing. He can't bluff at a situation like this. So they retreat. Like, this wouldn't never work if he was like a nobody, right? But because he was famous, about this time this was already kind of late in the novel. He's like super well known as the best strategist that you could ask for, like best in the world. It's like, surely it's a bluff. He can't bluff, can he? And anybody who's into Romance of the Three Kingdoms,
That is flippin' hilarious.
yeah,
I am going to flex my clout and pray LOL.
yeah, exactly. Flexing my clout and pray. Because like this guy is basically the he's super smart, right? And also he's also over here has a contraption, like came up with a bunch of contraptions. He came up, I'm not sure, but I think he's credited for coming up with the Chokonu, which is a rapid firing crossbows. And he's also credited for coming up with a horse and cart. And if you look at the horse and cart he has over here, I think he came up with the idea of, he created a horse and cart with a locking mechanism in its tongue. So he set it up so that as people are pushing it, and he left the supply, like a supply, he's left these supplies as a lure. And as soon as the enemy is attacking the supply line, he's switched out, like he basically locked the cart. He came up with a locking mechanism to lock the cart in the tongue of the head of this thing. And once they ran away, and once the enemy is trying to move the cart, they can't. It's like, wait, how come it's moving? Like, how come it can't move? You know. And as soon as that happens, they counterattack and then just took back all the grain. And then they were also dressed up in kind of like mystic gear. So as soon as they took like all the gear, they shoved the tongue back to the other side to unlock the cart and then moved it normally. so they thought it was like some sort of sorcery, right? And there's so much stuff regarding like Zhuge Liang or Kong Ming that, as you would know, and that's why he's so well known. In fact, this Kong Ming is the inspiration behind the Kong Ming in Unlimited Saga. Anyways, like this is the source. Like he's the guy who this is the guy who inspired Kong Ming in Unlimited Saga. And just as a tangent, right? I think that's also part of
Did he also paint a fake tunnel in a cliffside with the road leading to it Willy Coyote style LOL?
Paint a fake tunnel, cliffside. Let me think. No, but there's a bunch of stuff like that. Like there's a bunch of really famous things that he did. First off, he was the one who was able to. He was responsible for the alliance with whatchamacallit, with Wu, the blue side, as you can see. You can see here that I'm not sure how big I could make the card art, but as you can see here in the balance of power, the Shu Kingdom's over here. That's where the heroes are, the white side. Wu's the blue, according to MTG, and Wei is the black colored one, according to MTG. And as you can see here that they're pretty much, these three kingdoms are support, like balancing each other out, right? Hence the name, because if either one of these guys attack someone, they have to watch their backs. Like if Wei attacks Wu, they have to be careful Shu is gonna attack. If Wu attacks Wei, Shu might attack. And basically these two formed an alliance against the bigger kingdom up here, right? So the one who is actually able to, despite having the smallest army, the one who forged the alliance was Kong Ming. So he was a diplomat as well, right? And he did a bunch of really cool stuff. Like for example, Kong Ming and Lu Su tricked Wei troops into shooting over 100,000 arrows at them to later use them in the Battle of Red Cliffs. They basically wait until it was a cloudy night on a very obscured moon, and they just wait until and then just made a bunch of boats filled with straw men, and they just played some drums. They said, "Oh, the enemy is attacking! Shoot them with arrows!" And basically, he was able to make like 100,000 arrows over just a few days. Like, thanks for the arrows. That's one really kind of famous scene. It's made up though, unfortunately. And over here, there's also him coming up with a Kong Ming and Zhou Yu. Those are the main, like Zhou Yu's the strategist on the blue side, Wu side, and this Kong Ming here basically planning to defeat Wei. And they wrote something.
Ming's plans are ridiculous, LOL.
Yeah. And basically wrote something on each other's hand, and they revealed it at the same time, 1, 2, 3, and they both laughed because they both wrote fire. As okay, that's a plan to basically to defeat the enemy here. Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing. Yeah. So basically, Kong Ming made things super fun as soon as he entered the scene, and everything else since then is about how to not get outsmarted by Kong Ming, or Zhuge Liang as his full name was. But there's a bunch of other cards. Let me just, I think you need to head to some of the later cards here. Wait, why am I not able to scroll? Oh, sorry. That's good. Sorry, that might hurt your ears a little bit. But yeah, go to the last set over here. Yep, there's it's called Borrowing the East Wind over here. Basically what he did was that as part of the plan, he's trying to set fire to the enemy ships, but it wasn't possible because the wind was in their favor. If you set fire to a bunch of ships, it's not going to be fruitful because it's going to blow back into the water, back out of the coast, right? And he said that, oh, actually, I have magical powers that I could summon the east wind according to my will. And it's like, no way. It's like the Wu said, no way, you're bluffing. There's no way. He said, he said he's gonna bet his life on it, etc. And it's just through the power of observation. Basically, he's been observing the weather. He said, oh, during this time of year, there's usually an easterly wind for a couple of days anyways. Because this is my turf. So he just basically, oh, I knew already that there's going to be east wind. Let's just like make myself more mystical just by doing that. Yeah, but there's a bunch of really cool events as well. Like, for example, this is another very famous scene, which is the Three Visits. Three Visits is Liu Bei, or the head of the Shu army, wanted to recruit Kong Ming so bad that he went to visit him 3 times. And the first time he wasn't there, second time he wasn't there, third time he was there, but he was sleeping. So he told his brothers to say, just wait outside for a bit. And then his brothers just saw that, wait, are you actually letting this dude sleep until you wake him up? And he was super, like, the 2 brothers were like super angry or super dissatisfied with bringing this guy along. It's like, wait, is Kong Ming really all that? And you have to actually realize that there's a huge age difference. These guys, I think by the time they're here, they're probably in their 40s, like late 30s, early 40s already. And Kong Ming was 17. So basically it was like, seriously, you doing this for like a kid, just a kid. And it like put everything into such a like into a context of, and then he was just like super smart. And it took a while before Kong Ming got the respect.
So these people were getting duped by a kid, lol.
Yep. By at that time he was just a kid. Just a kid, not still underage. Not quite a minor though, 17. But everything, all his plans and everything, is just really smart. But the important thing is, by the time that the series went on, not the series, like, but the story went on, he was basically carrying the responsibilities of the kingdom after, you know, that these 3 have passed. But anyways, now we've come to the fun part. I think it's going to be the fun part for me, at the very least, which is card mapping to events.
You know, I wish we had enough spiritual belief nowadays to be able to bluff militaries by pretending to be wizards. The most modern example I can think of was during the Vietnam conflict, when the CIA tried to fool the Vietnam soldiers with voice recordings pretending to be ghosts.
It's interesting. Yep. But that's pretty much it. But we're a lot of the there's a saying that read 3 Kingdoms 3 times and you are untrustworthy, I think. Like, if you read Three Kingdoms 3 times, then you can't be trusted because it's just so whatchamacallit, because you become so shrewd, right? Anyways, let's actually have a look at what I've done so far regarding regarding what I need to do. So I went to ChatGPT basically, and I said, okay, could you give me all the meanings of all the various tarot cards and put them in a table? Yep. So it did that, right? And I did that with ChatGPT. Simple enough. We didn't need to do too much research. And I know kind of the basic gist of what the cards mean already anyways. So I just saved time on typing. And okay, copy it and paste it. So that's the first part of things done. Next up, we need to do what is called the event text, or event that we're going to reference, and come up with a text that Romance of the Three Kingdoms, like for the meanings of the cards while it's upright, and the meaning of the cards when it's reversed. And for example, like, I could spend ages talking about this because basically I need to come up with 78 different events in Romance of the Three Kingdoms to basically say, okay, what's happening right now, and what each cards mean in the tarot. But we'll also need to actually figure out the okay, just give me a second. I need to actually do something. I'm going to insert one column left. Go to RO3K event. Nope. I need to enable sticky keys, control copy. I just realized a couple of things. First off, I needed to actually go event text. And why I want event text is I want to make two separate things. Okay. One column right. And I'm going to move you over here. Oh, that's not what I wanted you to do. Just wanted to move you one column. Because I wanted a text here, meaning what event I'm going to reference. Next up is the event text. Basically, the text that I want to appear on the card itself to explain what's happening. Like, basically flavor text. And then over here we'll get the upright meaning in the reference to what's actually done here. Oh, come on. Let's go ahead and move over here. And more meaning. Yep. And as you can see here, as soon as I type something in here, this checklist shows how much I've done. So we're up to 39 events already. But I'm actually going to place this on the flavor text side. For example, I'm gonna control copy, control V. Yep, there we go. So, for example, this changes cycle and fate. I'm going to reference, for example, the Yellow Scarf's Rebellion. But in the Dynasty Warriors game, it's called the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Because this card, for example, Wheel of Fortune refers to cycles and changes of cycles and fate. And the cool thing about this particular bit of text, the empire long united must divide, long divided must unite, thus has that ever been. If you go back and look at the novel here, I wanted to actually leave the novel up because I need to I want to reference the source. But anyways, this is the first chapter. And it's the first thing that's being said in the text. When the empire long divided must unite, long united must divide, thus has that ever been. Is a kind of sets up the whole novel, because China was trapped in a bit of a court culture vicious circle. They weren't able to they basically, yeah, they're stuck in a bit of vicious circle of court culture. They're stuck in their old ways. They can't do much. Because what happened was the whole strong like weak times create strong men.
You're still live at?
Yes, we're still live. I know. I'm going to be live for at least 1.5 more hours if I can, because like I said, I'm attempting to sit up for as long as I can. It helps my body regulate the ingesting of food, for example, and digestion. Otherwise, I'm gonna lie down for the rest of the day. I have enough time to lie down. But thanks for being here. Oh, there's 5 viewers. From where exactly? On the Twitch. Hi Twitch. Thanks for being here, people. But yeah, we're just talking about the kind of the bit of writing now. So we're finished with the design doc and basic timeline for a little bit before we continue on the whole wheel of what the cards mean anyways. But yeah, if we're looking at the Wheel of Fortune card, it means like
why is only there one viewer on YouTube?
Because I'm trying to get affiliate on Twitch. So if anybody's actually watching on Twitch, then
watching your stream.
Yeah, it's just you. But the viewership is a little bit bugged on YouTube, actually. And sometimes it goes to 0 as well, which is unfortunate. But anyways, if you look at Wheel of Fortune here as a card,
okay.
Yep, we're talking about changes and cycles and fates. and resistance to change, right? And they were stuck in a bit of loop of court culture. Basically, um, they start a dynasty. The dynasty becomes corrupt. They overthrow the dynasty. A new dynasty starts, and then they became corrupt. And then people overthrow it.
Unfortunately, I don't know why, but my mom is still sick. I think my mom is better.
Your mom is going to be. People don't get better from sickness over hours, buddy. It takes days. Anyways, the as you can see, the changes on cycles of fate here in the Wheel of Fortune card. The Yellow Scarves Rebellion. Actually, let me just. I'm sorry I have to do this. A60 is because I want to actually explain things a little bit. So I'm going to mute you for a little while. So that I could actually just explain my chat for a little bit. I'm not even sure how long that I timed you out. How long did I time you out? Whoa. That is not that's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh man, that sucks. Give me a sec. How long did I time you out? I mean, okay. I'm sorry there, buddy. I didn't mean to do that. Time you out for so long. And I thought timeouts didn't actually delete your messages either. Sorry, buddy. Huh. I actually have to go to Restream to undo that. But yep, sorry. I need to actually, I'll continue for a little bit. And what was I talking about? But yeah, I was going to go into something a little bit more adult, right? But as well, talking about kind of like the cyclical nature of the
Talking
culture.
about the Yellow Scarves Rebellion.
Yeah, basically, the Yellow Scarves Rebellion was basically a bit of is a natural course of things that are happening in terms of what's happening over in the Three Kingdoms period, because basically you have a bunch of emperors having basically the China was going through a golden age with the dynasty, or basically the Han dynasty. It is a 400-year-old dynasty, right? So it's super old, super long golden age, and it's at the end of this is the beginning of the Three Kingdoms period. And what happens is they have a bunch of people in court vying for power because the emperor died and left a young emperor on the throne, and basically everybody was just vying for power. Who's going to control it? Either your uncle, like the uncle is trying to take who's in control of the military. He's trying to take control of everything. Whereas there's also a bunch of guys called eunuchs. So eunuchs are, if you didn't know, they're people who went into who basically had because men aren't allowed in the inner court. So if you actually wanted to serve as attendants for the king or for the prince,
Had their intimacy removed.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Had their had their body parts removed. Yep. So that means that they were willing to give up their lineage and to be able to have an immense amount of power. Yep. So those guys are usually like so you either okay you're like best buddies with the with the prince. As soon as he becomes king, he's going to rely on you mostly on to help you how to rule, right? And they become corrupt as well. So they like basically the people are just fighting inside the court. They become corrupt. They taking money from people, and like there's a flood going on, and there's disasters going on, and people like the people don't care, and the people in power don't care, basically, or don't know or aren't solving it. And what happened is just that they came up with the Yellow Scarves Rebellion is but just a bunch of there's a dude who basically said, okay, let's gather up all the people and start a rebellion. And they had a cool catchphrase as well, is that they have something called the Mandate of Heaven, or basically, you know, the right to rule, or divine right to rule, right? And basically this, oh, hi Melon WK, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, buddy. I'm also just rambling on and on about Three Kingdoms stuff. So if you're following, then I'm doing something right a little bit with the game dev stuff. But anyways, yeah, basically the Yellow Scarves Rebellion had everybody take over. Well, they basically rebelled with a bunch of people, and they couldn't do it. Like basically the court panicked, and they said, okay, what do we do? We said, give autonomy to the warlords. So the people who were ruling the different districts, let them command the army as they see fit to quell the rebellion. That was the short-term solution, but in the long term it was really bad because it gave all the power to all the warlords, right? So basically it's similar to what happened to Japan, right? Like they weren't able to control and China's huge. They weren't able to control such a large area, so they just gave authority to all the warlords, and they just went, okay, we're just gonna rule however we see fit. And Emperor's still emperor, but you know, he lost a bunch of authority. And to quell that rebellion, like a bunch of people rose into power and had a way to actually climb into power. And after a little while, yeah, but that's the gist of the beginning of this, is that it is a time of division at the start of this. And they went into all the various different dynasties that came before. But yeah, it is a cyclical, vicious circle nature of things. So it was appropriate for the Wheel of Fortune card, for example. And appropriately, Zhuge Liang or Kong Ming is Zhuge Liang is Kong Ming, same dude. Kong Ming's his nickname. Is the Magician card, calling the wind, like, you know, playing the zither, using his clout, basically, to fool everybody. But I like him being the Magician card because he's he's actually like representative of what it means, right? On both sides, it is a manifestation of power and being and resourcefulness. So that's actually pretty spot on to what the Magician is. And they, yeah, there's a way of there's a bunch of people who I could just go into various details into like why I chose these guys. But yeah, the important thing right now is actually going over what actually happens. But next up is the whatchamacallit, the eunuchs. There we go. I actually had a eunuch be represented by a card. So the eunuchs are I had them represent the devil card, right? Because it talks about temptation, bondage, materialism, all about the corruption and everything, and whispering in the emperor's ears, working things behind the scenes, and in the end they all got unalived. They basically said, no, you're already that's basically what happened to them. And it's a pretty cool representation of the devil card as well.
Dang.
Yep. Because in what happened in the Three Kingdoms, right? As soon as everything was quelled, right? The head of the military, which is basically the one who's taking care of everything, decided to say that these eunuchs are corrupt, they gotta go. The dude's called Herjin, and he said he's the uncle of the emperor. He said, these eunuchs, they gotta go. And then his sister, who is the queen, basically said, nope, they're under my protection. You can't do that. And he just talked to another warlord called Yuan Shao, and Yuan Shao just said, you should really just kill them, just unalive them all to get rid of the problem. And then he said that, and then the eunuchs thought about it and said, this is becoming a problem. Let's forge a letter to be written by by the queen or his sister, and ask him to come into the court, and let's chop off his head. So they chop off his head and said, see, if you dare do anything to us, this is what's going to happen to you. And Yuan Shao, the warlord, who saw everything, and said, okay, just unalive everybody. You guys, you guys didn't think this through. And he just went ahead and unalived all the eunuchs. And by the end of this stream, you probably know what the Three Kingdoms is all about, if this is going to go on over here. But yeah, anyways, that's the idea behind eunuchs. They cause a lot of corruption in the court because if they're willing to give up their member to become a member, pardon the pun, to a bunch of really powerful folks, then they're going to be problematic, right? The kind of people who actually are able to do that, it's going to be cause problems in the court. Like it's a never-ending cycle. Like almost all dynasties in China could almost be traced back to corrupt eunuchs. Like at the end of every dynasty, there's always a story of corruption happening with the eunuchs. But anyways, that's always that's a constant. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look at what's the next thing happening. Oath in the Peace Gardens, I talked about earlier. It's about the three brothers coming together, and I also used the thing that I talked about with the borrowing of 1,000 arrows to represent the moon, but for now, I think I could have anything better, because it uses a mystery, like the confusion and the illusion and fear, to confuse the enemy into giving you all the 100,000 arrows. Yeah, and where else? The only things that I'm missing for the major arcana right now is Judgment, the Sun, Temperance. Yeah. Those are the main three things. But yeah, as you can see that I copied the text over here. Open source, not open source. Public domain text. Red Cliffs. And one cool thing about as you can see here, if I divide this, we have the major arcana, which is 0s through 21 here. And this is just a reference to card numbering. So each of the cards have like a specific place in the code. Anyways, so that's just a numbering thing. But yeah, anyways, the Wheel of Fortune, just like these are the major arcana, which is 0 to 21. That's 22 cards. And then we have aces all the way to kings of wands. And then aces all the way to kings of cups. Aces all the way to kings of swords. Aces all the way to kings of pentacles. But sometimes it's called coins. But each of these have an element. So Ace of Wands refer to fire. Fire as an element. No, Wands refers to fire. Cups refer to water. Swords refers to wind, I think. And then Pentacles refers to earth. And they have different meaning, different base meanings, like especially to do with pentacles or coins in earth. It's about material stuff, right? So it's mostly to do with money and the material. You know, see, you can see here there, the pentacles. You have financial stability, hard work, wealth, independence, mastering a skill, generosity, charity, you know, financial hardship, and security, teamwork, balance, yep, material prosperity, etc. So a lot to do with material stuff. Whereas the swords will be the kind of wind elemental, taking things into action, making choices, things to do with conflict and deception and restrictions, self-imposed prisons, and all that good stuff, right? And then anxiety, worries, and nightmares. Cups has to do with more of the emotional stuff, and wands, cups is water and emotional stuff. Fire is a lot to do with also kind of action and inspiration and foresight and conflict resolution, planning and inspiration, but also a lot to do with kind of vocal things, words, creation, all that good stuff. That's the main gist of things. But okay, so let's go ahead back to what we could talk about. Is that me just going slowly over things of what things could be. And okay, so after we talk about the eunuchs, the eunuchs were destroyed, and then came this guy, Dong Zhuo, right? I'm still a little bit iffy about putting Dong Zhuo over here, because it is like he's not very known for his intellect, but King of Swords is talking about like intellectual power though, but then he doesn't fit into some of the other categories. Like I wouldn't want to put him in the King of Wands, for example, because it's not a visionary leadership or entrepreneurship. I think he fits the King of Sword role pretty well. Dong Zhuo was the dude who basically came into the court because of all the chaos that happened once all the eunuchs were unalived. Oh, got medicine. Just give me a sec. Yeah. So once the eunuchs were unalive, this guy basically came in and said, okay, I'm going to bring my army into the capital. And they just found the emperor wandering around and said, what's happening here? Oh, the emperor is wandering around. Nobody else is actually doing anything. He has them under control. Oh, wow, I guess I'm in charge now. So he just basically waltzed in with his army and just took control over everything. It's basically a could I say the C word without getting demonetized in Thailand? Yeah, so it basically took over, military takeover, there we go, of the capital. So basically he just came in and waltzed in and just took over everything, and everything suddenly became worse. Because he was like completely disrespectful of the emperor. He said, you know, he did the thing where, okay, you're the emperor. I don't like you. I like your brother more. Let's kick you out. Let your younger brother become the emperor instead. Anybody against what I said? Yes? No? Anybody? Oh, you're against me? Okay. That's the kind of rule that was okay. And I said, all right. So that was a problem, and he had a warrior. If you're into Dynasty Warriors, you pretty much know this guy almost instantly, which is Lu Bu. Lu Bu is basically the strongest warrior, like bar none, in the Three Kingdoms. Like if you had to measure by raw power, Lu Bu's always depicted as the strongest warrior in any sense. But he has a bit of a reputation. Is that Lu Bu's reputation is that as it like probably pretty appropriate for the General of Swords here. By the way, I made some changes. Usually it's the page and the knight, but I changed page to strategist and knight to general just to make it more flavorful. But yeah, Lu Bu is just this dude who has that ambition, determination, assertiveness, right? And basically has a disregard for consequences. And he's known to betray.
Lu Bu also has one of my favorite character designs in Record of Ragnarok.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course you know Lu Bu, because he's pretty famous. Well, he's known throughout various different bits of media, right? As a fierce warrior. So as a General of Swords, right, fits the bill perfectly. He has like a lot of ambition, and he's known to betray everybody. Like his nickname, or his not nickname. What's the that nickname was the one with three fathers, because his father died. He was adopted, and Dong Zhuo said, "Come work for me." But no, I'm like Dong Zhuo sent his advisor Li Ru to say that if you come work for my master, you'll be like rich and stuff. Is all you gotta do is just, your father. It's like your adopted father. You're not related by blood, anyways, right? You be like, you know. So he said, okay. So he betrayed his adopted father, and off comes the head, and then came went to basically work for Lu Bu. No, Lu Bu went to work for Dong Zhuo. And with that being said, what happened next? It's actually a rise for another character. Let's move on to this dude here. The Emperor. The Emperor represents authority, structure, and stability, right? And I don't think there's anybody more appropriate for this card than this dude. You might, not the Invalid, you might see him written as Cao Cao, but the pronunciation in Chinese, which is silly, but it's Cao Cao, right? So. I'm not gonna try to say it proper Chinese, but anyways, this dude was a character, all right. He's basically the one who founded Wei, or founded the other kingdom, one of the three kingdoms. So I'm gonna move back to the previous. And there we go. He's the Lord of Wei. So a lot of protein this guy must have been taking. But anyways, once you turn before you attack, okay. Don't forget his power ability, but basically he's the Lord who came up with this. Basically, back then he was like relatively young. He just went, okay, you know what I could do? I could just go on the Dong Zhuo dude, and we'll be done with it, right? So he said that okay, let's actually. So he said he wanted a one of these little swords. So he wanted a sword or a small knife to basically go to the, you know, the more I think about it, the more likely I'm going to get demonetized talking about this kind of stuff, right? But yeah, anyways, in the historical context, yeah, deception, betrayal, sneakiness, he basically is just going to go, you know, stabby at Dong Zhuo behind his back. And he brought a knife, and he adds a knife from an official. The knight, I think this is actually one cool thing I discovered, but this is like a wonderful coincidence, right? And it's so flavorful and it's so nice that, you know, this is actually one of the times that I thought that, okay, this was meant to be for this card. All right. The knife that Cao Cao used in this attempt was called the seven star or seven jeweled knife. Looking at the Seven of Swords card, it depicts deception, betrayal, and sneakiness. So the number, like the number 7 there, and the sword, the knife itself had 7 jewels studded into it. So I was creeped out that, wait a minute, this just belongs. Like, this is exactly the meaning of what the card is, and this is also exactly what the card represents in the tarot deck. It's like, wait a minute. So, you know, I got goosebumps talking about this, because what happened there is, in the story, he brought the sword, the knife, and he was about to do the deed with Dong Zhuo's back turned, and Dong Zhuo actually saw the knife's reflection in the mirror. So he turned around and said, "What are you doing?" And Cao Cao got on his knees and said, "I got this knife from an official, and I wanted to present it to you." So he improvised. He said, "This is he really like the knife. He specifically asked the official that he got the knife from to have that knife be a family heirloom, or be a something of value, just in case something like this happened." So he presented the knife, and he said that it was like, it cuts through metal like butter, all that kind of stuff. Go full on Billy Mays on this, and said, "Yep, this thing cuts through the metal like butter. It's amazing. It's an amazing knife." And then he went out and got himself a horse and let this. And okay, here's the knife. Oh yeah, I forgot. Here's the scabbard. Okay, so yeah, and bye. And he goes off and rides off. And then Lu Bu came in and he said, "Did that dude just try to?" Dang Zhuo said, "Yeah, I think he did. I think he did." I think that whole knife thing was like presenting the knife as a gift thing was him thinking on his feet. Yeah. And by the time that they realized that was happening, he fled already. And yeah, so there's another, but this is a bit of character building for Cao Cao to let people know what kind of person he is. I'm not sure how accurate this is in reality though, but he went off and he was captured by a strategist called Chen Gong. Chen Gong, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to put him in the strategist of swords or not, because I think it's probably more appropriate than Zhang Zhao. Zhang Zhao is the guy who led the Yellow Turban rebellions, but I'm just thinking maybe it's Chen Gong, because Chen Gong was this dude who was like he was relatively smart. He was pretty smart, and he captured got onto Cao Cao and he said, "Dude, why did you try to do that?" He's like, "Because that dude's corrupt and he's going to destroy the country." I said, "You know what? I agree." And he left his post and they went along together, all buddy, right? And Chen Gong went and saw Cao Cao and he said, and basically, "Okay, what do we do? Where do we go?" I said, "Oh, I have a relative we could stay with." And he went with this to stay with his relative, and he just basically said, "Okay, and that dude said, "Okay, I'm gonna go into town to get some wine. I'll be back for a little bit. Just feel free to, relax and rest for a little bit." And after that, he was resting with Chen Gong. Chen Gong and Cao Cao were resting, and they basically heard people sharpening knives. And basically they were saying things like, "Okay, we'll slaughter it now. We have to do it now." Right? And they just went, "Okay. He's on to us. He's going to turn me over to the authorities. Better them than us." So I got a sword. He basically offed everybody in the family, and then all the servants, all the family members, and then they found a pig tied in the back, So they went, oh no, moment, yeah. And they said, okay, then what do we do now? Oh, okay, we gotta run. Basically, they were talking about the pig, not them, not themselves. So they, oh no, okay, let's run. And as soon as he ran, he came upon his uncle, right, and said, "Oh, are you off so soon? Why are you already heading?" I was like, "Oh, we have to go. We just have to go now. I can't. We can't stay. Bye. You know, that kind of stuff." And then Cao Cao realized something, turned around, and then just his uncle, and said, and Chenko was, "Dude, that was uncool. Why'd you do that?" He said, if he went back home and saw all the people who were unalived, then, you know, he's gonna report us to the authorities, family or not, you know. He said, but this dude was innocent. Yeah, but this dude, it literally was innocent. We knew he was innocent. Why did you do that? He said, and he said some famous word. His famous word is like, I'd rather betray the world than let the world betray me. And that was one of the defining characters of Cao Cao. So that's actually one event that I want to actually include here.
Oof, dang man.
Yeah, and that was the moment where he said, Chen Gong said, this dude, he's like, nah, he's not the kind of guy that is going, like, he realized that he's not the kind of guy that that he's going to follow, but at the same time, he knows that he's the kind of guy that, well, at the end of the night, he drew his sword. It was about to, you know, and he thought that, look, he might not be the kind of guy that I'm gonna follow, but he might be the kind of guy that's necessary in this day and age. You know what? Like, so I'm just gonna leave, and that's when they part ways. The next time they met, Chen Gong was Lu Bu's advisor. So that's that. I'll leave it at that.
What is this list?
Oh, what is this list? Oh, glad you asked, Chandu16. What I'm doing right now is part of my timeline of writing. Like, this is, first off, this is my design document. So I actually, I'm designing a Three Kingdoms card game, Romance of the Three Kingdoms card game, right? And the important part that I actually have to do first before I do everything is basically specify the structure of the card system, map events in Romance of the Three Kingdoms with all the tarot card meanings, and then that's what I'm doing right now. And that's why I'm ranting a little bit about Romance of the Three Kingdoms, because as you can see here, on the far left is the list of cards in the tarot deck, which is the major and minor arcana cards. Yep. And in that sense, I thought that, okay, so what do I do is I want to link up events over here and various different people to various bits of actions and bits in the story, right? And I was just relaying the story about Cao Cao's betrayal of it, like the important like this bit of betrayal. And I think if I look at the original text in this bit, it's going to be chapter 5, maybe. Like, the cool thing about this original text here is that it just talks about what's happened in the story, its main plot points. Yep. As you can see, Hejin plots against the eunuchs.
Spelling question, can I ask?
Sure. Just make sure it doesn't make me spell things like ligma. I'm gonna like ligma like instead of that's gonna come up anyways. Yep.
Schwa sound. How do you know which vowel to use? The right vowel.
Schwa. How do you know which vowel to use? The right vowel. it's if I'm not sure, they need to provide a bit more context, buddy. I don't understand the question. As you see here, the Cao Cao presents a jeweled knife over here. Like you said, Lu Boshi. Yep, that's the name of the dude who wasn't alive. Yep. So the event here is going to be the Five of Swords. Go say. Oh wait, did I? Oh. Sticky notes.
Schwa sounds like short vowel A, but when people spell they use any of the vowel A, E, I, O, U sometimes Y for schwa sound in the word.
It's really rough with English. Because with English, it's all contextual. Not contextual. You just need to learn separately. It's like, how do you know which one vowel to use? You don't. You just read it and remember. That's almost always the case with English. I'm sorry, buddy. And that's the rough part about English. English, unlike phonetically, is not a phonetic alphabet, meaning that like it doesn't guarantee that certain vowels or certain consonants are guaranteed to make certain sounds. Like Thai, for example, is Thai. Japanese also is a language that has defined consonants and vowels. So we like Thai has 44 consonants and many more vowels. Like I can't remember how many vowels. 32 vowels. There we go. And they have very specific pronunciations, so you know exactly what if you know how to read the system, you know exactly how it sounds. English is rough in that it doesn't actually, you can't tell by just reading it. You actually have to listen to it and remember. Yep. And then like over here, the text is, but you murdered him knowing he was innocent. A great wrong, is it? Better to wrong the world than have it wrong me, Cao Cao retorted. So that's the text we want to copy. And then that's a flavor text that we're going to actually use for that card. As you can see here, pretty cool. Yeah. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and that's the I think the work process that I'm going to think about. Yep. Like Cao 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 rallies the lords with a forged decree. Three brothers engage Lu Bu in battle. I think the three brothers engaging Lu Bu in battle is an important card as well. But rallying with a forged decree is an interesting event too. But I think I'll need to think about which event counts as the three of swords of the three brothers fighting against Lu Bu here. And I do, as much as I wanted to put it into the swords, we don't have any more space. Because four of swords means rest, transition, and moving on, and mental relief isn't the correct one. So let's actually look at some of the other things that are being said here. Five of Wands is an interesting one. But this is more to do with conflict and competition. And I really want to save the Wands like this too as a bit of collaborate, like something that requires finding common ground. But it's interesting to have a Five of Wands in this case because this, if you count all the weapons being used in this particular instance, we have one weapon by Lu Bu, Lu Bu's halberd, the Green Dragon, which is Guan Yu's weapon, the Serpent Spear, which is Zhang Fei's weapon, and the two swords. So 5 is an interesting number. 5 of Wands is one. So it's actually an interesting part as well. I don't think 5 of Cups is going to do it. 5 of Pentacles have already talked about financial hardship, so it's not the best here. So I think 5 of Wands for now is the Hulao Gate battle. Just for context, what happened at the Hulao Gate? In reality, in the actual history, nothing much, but the Battle of Hulao Gate marks an important turning point because at this point Dong Zhuo was pretty corrupt and taking Cao Cao went, okay, warlords, let's gather together and defeat Dong Zhuo once and for all, liberate the emperor. Well, he forged the decree, but nobody cares. There's for anything to make the any excuse to rescue the emperor, right? So he went to the Hulao Gate with 18 warlords versus Dong Zhuo's 1, right?
What is this?
Hi, Momi. I'm in the middle of doing game dev stream. And actually what I'm doing is what's called my Romance of the Three Kingdoms Tarot Wiki. So I'm doing my first ever game dev stream. And what's
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm actually using what I know about Romance of the Three Kingdoms and what I know about tarot cards, and then just mapping events over to like what I'm doing now. If you look up today's goals, I'm actually finished with the main design doc page and the timeline, like the early timeline, and I'm in the middle of
Hi, Momi.
writing card text. But yeah, hi Momi. But yeah, anyways, 5 of Wands. Well, not. Okay, this is the wrong spot already. And basically, I have to. Give me a second. Basically, find all the tarot meanings. Place all the meanings into the cards here. And make sure that I have text that's going to be appropriate for it to write. So for example, I'm mapping the events right now, and after I'm done mapping the events, I'm going to add all of the text here. If you're familiar with Magic the Gathering cards, the flavor text is going to be here. I'm going to have basically the full-size tarot card, and on the card itself we'll have a bit of flavor text down on the bottom to explain what's happening on the card, right? If this was going to be a we're talking about the physical copy, right? So I'm not sure how familiar you are with Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Momi, or Dynasty Warriors. But basically, we're doing what they were doing, Dynasty Warriors, the tarot card edition. And we're mapping events right now. But okay, we're gonna. So what I'm going to do is, as part of the this is that I'm just going to basically browse what's happening and just say what's actually which bit of story that's pretty cool that we could try to include. Like in this moment, when it's this is the moment where the three brothers became super famous. This is like their moment where they got recognition. So maybe the Six of Wands is more appropriate in this case as well. So maybe the Battle of Hollow Gate could probably work better as a Six of Wands thing. Because without the Battle of the Hollow Gate, I'll question mark things for now. The Liu Bei and his troop would never come into like would never be famous. At the very least, that's in the fiction, anyways. Because what happened was, first off, there was the general called Hua Qiong. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Basically, how they were at a standoff because it was the Hollow Gate was impenetrable pretty much, and they were trying to rally the troops by doing duels, right? And there was this dude called Hua Zhang, and basically he's just really amazing, and he's on Deng Zhuo's side. It's like nobody could defeat me. Like and he sent like already 13 generals or 13 warriors to fight him, and they all lost to him, lost their heads, right? And now what happened then is that you hear this Liu Bei started to laugh, I think was the case, and basically like, who's that? Is that, oh, I'm just a no-name general, right? I don't have any rank yet. Like, I have no rank yet. But He said, I bet my brother could defeat Hua Zhong. He said, who are you? He said, I'm just a nobody. Like, how dare you speak out of rank and file, etc. No, he just went up and said, okay, might as well. We've lost all these really important warriors already. What's one more gonna hurt? Oh, sorry for knocking on this. And then basically so he gave some wine to Guan Yu. Where's Guan Yu? Yep, he gave some wine to Guan Yu. And basically he said, okay, for good luck. I said, no worries, I'll have it when I get back. And basically he went out, came back with the head of the other general and drank the wine. It was still warm. It's like, whoa, that mic drop moment for Guan Yu. And then, okay, since Hua Zhong didn't make it, it's time for Lu Bu. Lu Bu came out himself.
The power move.
Yeah, power move. Mic drop. So, Zhang Fei went out first. Fought with Guan Yu. No, fought with Lu Bu. Having a bit of trouble. And then, after that, Guan Yu went out as well to fight Lu Bu. And then his brother, Liu Bei, went out to fight. So basically, it was 3-on-1. And that was the only time that anybody would be able to match Lu Bu in battle. Basically, they 3-on-1'd him and they were evenly matched. Lu Bu was that strong. But regardless, it was the first time where Lu Bu was forced to retreat. So, okay. That was the basically moment that was the rock star moment for Liu Bei and like the three brothers, and they basically became instant sensations overnight or over day or whatever what time of day it is. So basically, success and recognition. I think that's the important part of the Battle of Huolong Gate. I'll have the 6 wands show up somehow, somewhere. With 4 people. I don't know how, but we could figure it out in the art. Add 1 stick somewhere. But anyways, that was what happened. Let's see what else does the 3 brothers engage Lu Bu in battle. Let's see what else is interesting that's happening over here. It's just... No, I had to just slow down for a little bit. His giant snakehead lance fast in his fist. His beard stuck out defiant strands of wire. Seriously. Could you be any more suggestive? The circles in his eyes shot angry fire. Oh, my goodness. Okay. But anyways, yep. Okay, so here's...
What in the Rolf from Ed and Eddie insult is this?
Insult? Wait, insult where? What in the Rolf from Ed and Eddie insult is this? No, this is not insult. It is the Zhang. Yeah, it is the They somehow added poetry. Yep. The House of Han approaches heaven destined end. Deep in the subway, this fiery sentence bent. Yep. Poetry. It's all poetry. Trying his best. Yep.
That describe about Wirebeard sounds like an insult that Rolf would come up with.
Yep. But anyways, so here's the two big bits that happen next. Raising the capital and concealing the Jade Seal, right? So I'll talk about those two now. The sacking of Luoyang was a pivotal moment of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, because Dong Zhuo realizes he's losing, and he said if he knows he's gonna lose, he's going to rob the graves of all the ancestors, taking all the emperor's ancestors, take all the wealth, move the capital back to the old capital of Chang'an, and in the process raise the capital completely, burn it to the ground so nobody has, basically what's called a D move, a pretty D move by any standards. Really a important moment, pivotal moment in the story. Tells all you need to know about Dong Zhuo, and also appropriate for the card that I'm trying to represent, which is the Tower. The Tower talks about sudden change and upheaval, right? And usually the towers that depicting this is usually the Tower of Babel. So the sacking of the capital of Luoyang is relatively appropriate moment in the story for this as well. So basically, okay, take the emperor, take the money, take the resources, and leave. And as soon as he did that, basically the confederation of warlords said, we lost the will to fight. We're not gonna continue anymore. There's no point. You moved over there. We're not gonna continue fighting. Pointless. And if he's gonna keep doing this, it's gonna cost us more, right? And there was a one of the members of the coalition, which is called Sun Jian. Sun Jian, basically, he was actually in it for the loyalty, for the loyalist. The warlords themselves were in it for the not the clout. The other warlords were in it because they wanted some benefit, right? Okay, it was going to take over for the power, and once Dong Zhuo left, they don't have anything left. But Sun Jian just said, no, I'm actually the loyalist. I actually wanted to do this for the dynasty. I don't want to actually he was proper loyalist, right? And he was the only one who entered the capital. And once he entered the capital, he found this. Wrapped, I'm not sure if it's where it is, but I do believe it's in a in the bottom of a well somewhere. It's the Imperial Seal. So basically, whoever possesses the seal has the right to be an emperor. It's given. It's basically, people take it as a kind of divine right to rule. It's heaven just gave us a sign that you're the next rightful ruler.
Ah, so the well was the destined ruler.
Yep. Kind of thinking of the the same way that the rock was supposed to be the one ruling all over England, the destined king. But do you smell what he's cooking? No. Great, wonderful. I'm just going to move on from there. That's not do I get demonetized by referencing The Rock? No, right? If you smell... Okay, enough of that. Enough of that cringiness. But, yeah, it's a very important artifact, as you can see here. And you can see the Ace of Pentacles, talking about material prosperity, new opportunities, potential. Super appropriate that the Imperial Seal is represented here as well. In fact, if you're a fan of Magic the Gathering at all, you might be familiar with the Imperial Seal. Oh, it's not here. You might be familiar with the Imperial Seal because it's one of the strongest tutors in the game. Search your library for any one card, shuffle your library, put the card on top of it. Ban and Legacy. Legal and Commander. Like, that's the price of it in the Port of... Yeah.
That card.
Yep, the Port of Three Kingdoms price is $900 something. Like, Dutch Gibbs card, Double Masters. Made it ever so slightly more affordable. But yeah, this is the card. Appropriate for the Ace of Coins, don't you think? Okay. Let's move on in the story. Let's see what else the novel has for us. We're up to chapter 6 out of 100 and something, so... Look at chapter 7. Yuan Sha battles Gong Sun Jiang at the River Pan. Sun Jin attacks Lao Biao across the Great River. These are minor characters. The only thing that is significant over here is that this guy wins over here, and this Sun Jian, the guy who found the seal, dies. So let's just move on. And so the seal went into someone else's hands. Yep. And over here is an important part. Wang Yun and his double snare. Dong Zhuo starts a brawl. So over here, what's going to happen is I'm going to reference another character. The character we're going to talk about next is, let's see if she's down here. There she is. Oh, even corrupt eunuchs have a card. Right? But there she is. Dao Qian, the Artful Beauty. And I think the art is very appropriate. As you can see here, what's going to happen. There's Lu Bu, there's Dong Zhuo, there's Diao Qian. And basically, this is one of the first cases of a honey trap, right? What happened is basically Dao Qian's stepfather invited Lu Bu to see Dao Qian. Lu Bu fell in love, and he said, okay, I'm going to promise her hand to marry. And then he invited Dong Zhuo to the court and said, okay, Dong Zhuo on the right there, to his house and said, are you interested? And he said, yes, and I'm taking her into the palace right away. And then basically, when Lu Bu found out, he was peed off. Lu Bu came to the father and said, why'd you do that? And said, oh, you must have misunderstood. I think what Dong Zhuo said, you know, he was trying to surprise you with Dao Qian as a gift. I think that's what he said, right? I said, oh, okay. And then he went in and he caught them, basically caught Diao Qian in bed with Dong Zhuo.
In the act.
Yep. Well, not exactly caught in the act, but basically she was in the bedroom. In the bedroom. Oh, and he just said, and then the wily, but the thing is, the Dao Chen was pretty much in the story. Dao Chen was pretty much the one who volunteered her services, to so to speak, right? So basically, she said, "You know what? I'll do this for the sake of justice, right?" So she gave up herself to Dong Zhuo, and basically, once Lu Bu came in, she didn't say anything. They just embraced. It's like, "Oh no, look at what Dong Zhuo did to me," And as soon as Dong Zhuo saw them embrace, he said, "How dare you? How dare you take my girl?" Grab this, like, the halberd that belonged to Lu Bu, threw it at him, starts a fight and stuff. That good, like, proper honey trap move now. And then after that, Li Su, who was Dong Zhuo's advisor, he basically said, "Dude, don't cross Lu Bu, man. Like, it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth, giving up Lu Bu for a girl. Not worth it. Just give it to her, let them be together. Much more important. Set your priorities straight." Right? And Dong Zhuo came to his senses, went to Diao Qian, and Diao Qian said, "I'd rather be with you than be with that brute. If you're going to send me over to him, I'm going to unalive myself." Immediately, she just professional kind of like gaslighter. I think
Darn conniving women splitting up the boys trope.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Diao Qian is probably masterfully gaslit both of them, right? But that's the idea behind her character, right? She was going in like and it's portrayed as a noble act, even, because she's going in using the only thing that she knows how to do for women of that age, like in that era, in that era, to basically, and in the end, what happens through all of that is Lu Bu does what it does best: betrays Dong Zhuo. Says, "Dong Zhuo, the emperor's gonna give up the throne now." So, really? Yeah, bring yourself along. You're gonna become emperor. I said, "Awesome." Walks in, there's Lu Bu and a bunch of people, and said, "Why do you have swords?" And yeah. As you can see here, I put Dao Qian as a symbol of strength, because strength in the tarot cards has always been depicted as like a woman, right? Regarding inner strength and courage and compassion, always depicted as a woman, right? So basically, she's the embodiment of what it means to of strength, and maybe gaslighting, but that's a different point. The actual that then, of course, what happens is like betrayal, rock bottom, and the downfall is Dong Zhuo's demise, betrayed by the one who he just got betrayed. Didn't listen to his advisors. Thought betrayed by the one he, like, his most trusted general. And the interesting, like there was an anecdote, right? And it was just like rubbing salt on the wound, kind of. It's like, why? Like why would actually would you say that about him? And it's probably just people in history trying to vilifying Dong Zhuo, right? They had a text that I'm not sure if it's actually going to be here as well. That starts a brawl at the pavilion. Yep. Lu Bu kills the tyrant for Wang Yun. Yep. Okay. They won't cheer this execution who dares mourn. Yep. Okay, I need to look at the slanderous account with ill effects. Yep. But it's said in the account that what happened they did was they once they betrayed him, they set his body on fire, and he was so fat that his body burned for days. I think that was the I'll look and see if it's if that's the sort text at all. Yeah. The third character is shown me. But yeah. And this is the first moment Kong Ming was led. Kong Ming lay low in Long Zhong in every hero weighed. Would he waste his talents on a renegade? That's the first mention of Kong Ming on this as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be part of Dong Zhuo's demise. There's a bunch of bits of infighting that happens later. Li Zhu and Gosi, Zhang Ji, Fan Shou, these guys are just fighting. And I think that's probably going to be it for today's stream, maybe. Because now we want to talk about... I'll go read ahead about what Ma Teng... Like Ma Teng, Cao Cao mustering an army to avenge his father. This is all kind of... There's a lot of details that's being glazed over here. Lu Bu defeats Cao Cao. And Quan Yi Suzhou, Cao Cao overwhelms Lu Bu. Yeah, this is just Lu Bu versus Cao Cao for the next bit of battle here. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. Because we're going to spend some more time. I'm going to spend some time off camera. Looking up various bits and bobs of the storyline here and adding them here. We're up to 40 in terms of events, and we have 38 more to add.
That was a lot of information.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I just basically summed up 10 chapters of Romance of the Three Kingdoms for you, didn't I? But yeah, I'll need to actually keep going at it. I mean, I give myself 2 weeks to write the events list and finalize it, and adding it over to add flavor text and upright text, reversal text. So yeah, there's a bunch more characters, but that's 10 of 120, I think. But I'll do most of this off camera, I guess. And then tomorrow I'll be live streaming Gundam again. And then the next day, I'll be doing what exactly? Just, I'll see if I could actually do this as much as I can on this. And I'll update on what's going to be the next few streams. But I don't want to spend more than one episode just on the writing side. But if I'll be able to tell if I'm going to do this on camera or off camera. But as soon as I'm done with this bit, and then I'll check done on the timeline, and then we could just get started on the game design part. The game design is going to be rough as well because I need to do a bunch of research. I need to write down mechanics and gameplay stuff, UI, UX design, all fun and in the bun. I'll need to do things like mechanics and gameplay and interactivity, user flow diagram, wireframes. I need to look all this up. I have no idea what this is, pretty much. So I'm gonna spend an episode on this, maybe another episode on this, but that's going to be pretty much it for on the design part. And as soon as we're done with those two, we'll continue with finally with the coding. But okay, I'm just gonna say as I switch to my face cam here, thank you again to all my members: Epilux, Rendamenta, Sephiroth, Veldouble, Norfael, Vega Chapa, and the Techno. Thank you for being members at the time of recording on YouTube. If you're watching this as a VOD over here on Twitch, feel free to jump over and have a look on my YouTube as well. Link is in the pinned comment. Otherwise, if you're on YouTube, feel free to jump over to Twitch, etc. Liking the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, click on the bell to get notified for when I go live. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the story for now. And I'm going to spend some more time looking through the events to pick out what I wanted to actually see. But yeah, it's me. I'm Biggie, and I'm back. Thanks for being here. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good day, Biggie. You got a lot to do for this game, but I am impressed by your ability to lay things out.
Thanks, Mana. But yeah, that's the general gist of things. Yeah, but it took me some time to lay things out. But yeah, it's important to lay groundwork and have a structure. And that's why I said timeline first, then before anything. But yeah, good night. Thanks for being here. Happy Black Friday or whatever holiday it is you're having over there. And see you in a bit. See you tomorrow. With we're back to playing Gundam. Me and Biggie and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit.